Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Dave Neal here, stand-up comedian, host of Bachelor Recap, a Guy's Review. It's Casual Fridays. Casual Fridays are news stories in the Bachelor community that don't really require their own video, but I just want to get them off my tabs. So these are some tabs that I've compiled the last couple days that we'll talk about here, and I'm just going to go right down the list. Most of this information came from the Bachelor subreddit on reddit.com, where you can just let all the good info just rise to the top. So let's get right into it. Today I'm going to be talking about Colton's new chapter in his book. Colton Underwood has a new chapter in his book. Queen Victoria apologizes. Believe it or not, she apologized. I think she did. And Bachelor musical. I'm going to share a little clip with you guys on that. Matt James responds to body shaming. And then at the very end, I'm going to share one more little article that I'm not going to put over here because I don't want controversy. You know, a lot of times people will fire off comments and downvotes before they hear an opinion on things. So we'll just get into all of that. Again, if you like this video, hit the like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm. And one more time, thank you guys so much for the 10,000 subscriber 10-hour live stream. I'm a little foggy today. Yesterday, I did a 10-hour straight live stream with only a 4-minute break, and you guys were amazing. All the generosity, donations, shout-outs. Special thanks to Jason Foster from Claire's Season for leaving a voicemail. Wit and Rye, the recappers, left a nice voicemail. Thank you guys so much, and all the people that commented all the way from Alaska to Zimbabwe. A to Z, baby. You guys were all over the place. That was an amazing. If you have 10 hours to kill, put it on. I'll leave a link in the description. All right, let's get right into it. So, Colton's new chapter. Let's talk about it. As you guys know, I've been talking about this for several months now. Let's go back to this tab right here. Colton Underwood went through excruciating pain after Cassie Ranoff split, and more revealed a new first-time chapter. Now, no matter what you Google about this, every article has the same sort of excerpt that the publishers must have given the media, and it was kind of didn't share too much. So I'll read the excerpt, but also I ordered the book. I figured, you know, I've been talking and criticizing Colton Underwood very harshly for the last several months, so I think I can spend the $15 and read the book. It shows up tomorrow, and I'll get a video out in the next couple days, so hit the subscribe button for that, because I do want to understand his side of the story. I do want to understand. Cassie's not talking about it. She's moving on. So it's kind of one of those, let's put the pieces together. It's a puzzle piece I kind of wish I never had to do. But anyhow, folks, so let's read into this. The excerpt is the next tab over here. I'll read it for you guys, and then we'll have our thoughts. This is what he said in the excerpt. By the way, the book is available. If you do want to support Colton, if you're a fan of his, you can go buy his book. Hey, put your money wherever you want, guys. It's a free world out there. After more than a month of being cooped up in her family's home, both of us were feeling overwhelmed and smothered and eager to return to our respective apartments where we could enjoy our own space. Before we left, though, she took me aside and told me she was struggling with everything in our relationship and didn't know what to do. My head spun like one of those characters in a cartoon. What? She was struggling with everything? In a calmer moment, I agreed we'd work through some misfires and miscues lately, little things where we didn't see exactly eye to eye, but I didn't realize how much those little things had been impacting her. It was one of those proverbial deaths by 1,000 paper cuts. Her eyes were full of tears as she tried to explain, struggling to find the right words and reasons that made sense. None did, at least not to me. Finally, I put my finger on her lips for silence. Yikes! He wrote this book. And again, she actually signed off on this, apparently, his words, that she approved of all this. I put my finger to my lips. I put my finger to my lips for silence. So, I'm sorry, I thought he put it on her lips. So he did this. He was basically shushing her. She stopped mid-sentence and lowered her eyes. Both of us had always agreed to avoid finishing hard conversations like this one. We didn't want to come to the conclusion that we weren't good for each other. We were scared of confronting that truth, so we didn't. Hey, let's just go back. Just you and me, I said, trying to stay calm. We haven't had any alone time. I haven't been sleeping on my on the third story like a squatter. I've been sleeping on the third story. Sorry, I'm reading this. It's very small on my desktop here. We haven't been intimate. We haven't even held hands. Let's try to make some time for us. Of course, he was quarantining. This was in the early days of the pandemic in March. He was quarantining, and so he was just separate from her. For the next several days, we hung out and returned to normal the best we could, considering the circumstances. When we drove back to Huntington Beach a few days later, I brought up a project we were planning together and got an unexpected response. She said she didn't know if we should jump into another project together when there was so much uncertainty in our relationship. Uncertainty? That hit me hard. Was there a timer on our relationship? What was going on? Were we together or not together? Are we breaking up? I asked. It continues down here. Is that as far as it goes? That's the excerpt. That's it. I mean, look, hey, you know, it makes you want to read more, I think, if you're into what actually happened. Very telling that he was like asking for silence. Look, I can't read directly into this, but there's a lot of we speak. Now, he says she signed off on it, but it's a lot when it's like, we were wondering about this. We didn't want to do this. But it's a little bit telling that he thought it was death by 1,000 paper cuts. Maybe the quarantine was a chance for her to kind of step away and see and reevaluate things. As we know, what happened after this is that he was found in her alleyway at her parents' house at 3 a.m. by her brother, and a tracking device was found that he apparently admitted to, although none of this admitting has been public knowledge. She filed a restraining order against him. She later dropped it. She also dropped the criminal charges, and she just wants to move on, apparently. But it's interesting. From what I've been told, he doesn't mention any of the stalking in the book. I got to read it for myself. I got to know what I'm working with. If, in fact, he doesn't, I'd like to ask a few questions about that. But there isn't much else to say in the meantime about that, just because in excerpt, him and his publisher, whoever it is, did a good job of teasing it. But I have to say, I am surprised he still released this chapter of the book. I am surprised, but hey, maybe it was already written. Maybe there was money on the table. God knows he's not going to be getting too many Detox Tea sponsorships. Let's move on. Queen Victoria apologizes. Moving right along here. And again, I actually couldn't find this on her Instagram, so I can't 1,000% say that this is from her, but from the comments, it seems pretty well understood that this is her apology. I don't like written apologies. I like to feel what you're saying, but let's read it nonetheless. This is Queen Victoria Larson. I think by the way, she had doubled down on her beliefs, and even her Instagram is very doubled down on her beliefs. I'll share her Instagram after this, but hopefully she did have a moment where she realized, maybe I did come off the wrong way. I think that's what it's all about. Is like, just admit you came off judgmental, name-calling, ripping other women down. If you could just admit that, no one's really judging you for your sense of humor. Anyone can have a bad sense of humor, but we all realize she crossed the line. I think in my effort to make my opinions heard, it may have been perceived as bullying by some. Okay, first of all, you're totally skirting an apology, but let's continue. And I feel bad if my words or actions offended anyone. I hate the apologies where I'm sorry if, not I'm sorry for. Words are powerful. They mean a lot, guys. She said, I take time each day to reflect and learn the lessons. I view all women as queens and have made my amends privately with anyone it appeared I had an issue with. So she's really not admitting she had an issue. She's saying, I'm sorry if they edited it in a way that made it look like I had an issue with you. If I apologized using this terminology to my fiance, that would not be an accepted apology. Do you know what I mean? Luckily, I'm marrying someone who's like very legal, law-minded when it comes to an apology. You got to be real specific, real factual, and this ain't it. Leave a comment and let me know what you guys think. She said, I think it's important to learn from the past, live in the present, and to always move forward with a positive attitude. We learn more each day about social media and how it impacts us. I just want to encourage us all to be more positive and supportive. While I appreciate that messaging, it sucks that she had to really feel it. It sucks that you have to feel the whole nation hating you left and right to really understand what it's like to be the bullied. You know what I mean? Lastly, of course, name calling is never okay, but I hold myself accountable and can just do better next time. I cannot change the past. It truly was not malicious, and I am so sorry. I love each girl I have met on my journey. I counted 4 grammatical errors, and then I just counted that last one, the journey. There's no period. And I digress, folks. I digress. What can you do? All right, so that's Victoria. That's where she is. Her Instagram, though, I couldn't find any of this on her Instagram. Of course, this is her responding to the body shaming. She posts, she does that whole sorority squat photo, the body shaming there where it looks like, it looks like you're using nature's bidet. We all know what that's all about. We all know. And she said, lost it there. She said, just remember, the only validation I need is for parking. I like that. I like that quote. I like that you can separate her as a bully versus her being body shamed. We're going to get into how she was body shamed. Check out the last video I made. She was body shamed by a guy that was golfing with Matt James. Okay, I'm not going to say they were friends. They were in part of a group. Who knows what their scenario was? All the guys laughed, which sort of endorses the body shaming. They found it funny. And a lot of times, hey, I'm a comic. I'm talking about this from a point of expertise. If you laugh at something, it doesn't mean you would have said it yourself. But a lot of times it's like, women are bad drivers. Ha ha ha. You're laughing because you're like, they are bad drivers. That's an example. I'm not saying women are bad drivers. My fiance, an aggressive driver, not necessarily bad, but she's always got to pass somebody. And if you don't put your blinker on, she's going to let you know it. Anyway, so let's move on from this. But yeah, you can separate her mood. This is fine. If she wants to be sassy and fine, this is good. This isn't what everyone was upset about. Everyone was upset about her calling contestants slores, slut whores, whatever. That's her. Those are her words. You know, she's making up language over here. All right, so let's move along. This is okay. This is Bachelor musical. I don't know if you guys know this about me. I love a good musical. I love musicals. Les Miserables, Phantom of the Opera. I love a good musical. And if we're gonna take the drama of The Bachelor and include it with the grandiose gesturing of a musical, I'm on board. You know, I got my start over there in New York City with a ton of friends in musical theater, and I have to say, it's very hard to book roles on Broadway. Broadway's been shut down for a year, so I encourage all of my musical theater friends to join this group, the Bitchelers, for some beautiful a cappella musical theater. Let's play a clip here. This is from TikTok at the Bitchelers.
She's entertaining men for money.
For money.
She's entertaining men for money.
She's entertaining men for money, for money. She's entertaining men for money. She's entertaining men for money, for money. She's entertaining men for money.
Beautiful. That's how you write a quick musical right there. That's at the Bitchelers on TikTok. I think they have an Instagram too. Go check them out. All right, here's our final story from the bullets here. The final bulleted story here is Matt James' response to body shaming. Like I mentioned, this guy, Jerry Jersey, whatever his name, Jersey the Don, I don't know his name, was Matt James about to putt, and then he goes, oh yeah, he starts making fun of Victoria's body. Like, how could you kiss her? You weren't into that. You know, he says all these things. I've showed all of the videos in previous videos. I've showed the Instagram that was leaked. I don't know who in his camp leaked it, but not a good look for Matt James at all. So here's his response. It's important. It's important we hear people's response, their apologies. It doesn't make it right, but like I said, it's important for like people like Matt James to like get out there and share how they feel, even if their actions didn't show that earlier. I'm not saying it's in negating him laughing at this or that. I'm just saying I respect this more than I respect people like the Bachelor producers who, no matter what the stance is, whatever they do to railroad contestants, they just leave it all out there. You know, they fart in the bathroom and don't open the window. That's Bachelor producers. So I at least respect Matt James talking out here, even if he was like doing it at in a hostage situation.
People that are on the show, like Victoria, okay? People are naming her a villain. And a video of your friend body shaming Victoria recently made headlines. So talk to us about that.
That's never something I condone or stand for. And it's just a constant reminder. You got to be smart about the people you surround yourself with. In those moments when you're in sports and people are trying to say things to you to throw things off your game, it's sad that someone would think that saying something like that about a woman that I was dating would deter me from what I was trying to do. And, I said something to him off camera about it, and something along the lines of, Victoria wouldn't give him a second look. And it's always the pot calling the kettle black. Like who is he to comment on someone's body? And it's such a low blow for any man to try to take a dig at something like that when it's just, that's not my character. It's not what I'm about. And it's a shame that's even associated with what was going on. So I apologize on his behalf. I don't know if you'll get it from him, but that's not something I'm a supporter stand for.
Now
I love how he goes, I'll apologize on his behalf, because he knows full well that the other guy's not going to apologize, because the other guy doubled down. Watch the last video. The other guy doubled down and goes, I'm not going to apologize to her. She has weird toes. He went on a whole rant about her toes and a bunch of other things and how she's a bully. And then the whole idea is, here's the difference. And I didn't get this right in my last video. And I'm listening to you guys, so I'm trying to get it right too. Sometimes people overuse the term bullying. Bullying is like repeated attacking in different ways of specific people. This guy, Jersey Don, or whatever the hell his name was, he wasn't bullying her. He was body shaming her. It's different. If he body shamed her to her face every day at work over and over, that's bullying. Do you know what I mean? So a little different. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Sorry, there's a couple technical glitches there. But I love that he said that after the camera was off, he told the Jersey guy, like, look, she wouldn't give you the time of day. So he gave it back. It wasn't on camera. This is just one of those things where he might have stuck up for her after the camera stopped airing, but that's such a, like, you can't assume things like that. The thing got uploaded. Everyone laughed. Tyler laughed. A lot of people were disappointed in Tyler. Tyler's got a big fan base. A lot of people were disappointed in him. And, look, there's a million ways you can try to get Matt James to miss the putt without digging at Victoria. All that aside, I'm sure he didn't know this was being uploaded, because that's even worse. I mean, multiple levels of stupidity happened, but it's very good to see at least he is he's talking about it and apologizing on behalf of the other guy, knowing the other guy has already doubled down and won't apologize. So, final thing here. I'm going to mention this, but hear me out. Hear me out on this one. This is again more things on the subreddit Bachelor. This is an article that someone posted. They dug up from October 7th, 2012. Matt James supporting Mitt Romney. Now, Mitt Romney was a presidential candidate for the Republican Party. Here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. We're not doing this. I'm mentioning this, but not to make this about a political thing here. I've made videos in the past about Matt James being a registered Republican. We've got several political parties, right? You might not agree with everyone in a political party, but like there's a difference between having certain convictions for Mitt Romney, and then there's a difference of like supporting someone who's trying to like cause an insurrection. There is a difference. So let's not conflate like what someone was doing 9 years ago with who they are today. Okay, we have to be a little bit more good with our critical thinking to get over that. I know some people in the comments will go, no, he supports this, he doesn't support X, Y, and Z. Look, who you were 9 years ago isn't who you are today. So let's just judge him as lightly as possible in the bubble that he is today. I don't even know who I was, I mean, I'd rather see someone, support their civic duty to like help, go to campaign rallies for things they believe in. When I was in college, I don't political party. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know who I voted for. Anyway, so someone posted this and it's like, I get it. We all want to see if we could like figure things out. So there's there he is. Oh, wow. Look at that. Wake Forest College Republicans. Oh my gosh. No way. Could you believe it? Wake Forest College Republicans. Are we shocked, guys? Come on, this is stupid. Stupid stuff. It's sort of like political baiting and all that jazz. But anyway, I hope you like my Casual Friday. If you have a lot of time to kill, I got that 10-hour live stream still up from yesterday. Thank you, everyone who called in, like I said, from Alaska to Zimbabwe. For the hundreds of people that donated, thank you guys so much. Whit and Rye, appreciate you guys. Jason, Foster, thank you so much for the phone call, the voicemail. You guys were amazing. Everyone have a great weekend, all right? Bye now.